People that are upset their team lost, obviously, and they're upset that their team lost, and other people are excited that their team won, and so they're going to break things and loot. Loot means you have to protect the property, and so you have looters to make sure that there are people there that have a job to do, and it's their job to protect the property. And then on the other hand, you have people that are upset that their team lost and somebody else's team won, or somebody's glad that their team won and somebody else lost. And so you'll have protesters. And there's always bad losers and there's always bad winners. And then there's looters. And of course, looters means that you have to protect the property. And in order to protect the property, you have to have looters. Otherwise, there's no reason to have people that are employed to protect the property. And in order to make sure that there are both looters and people that protect the property, you have to create two things. First of all, you have to create the conditions that put in place the expectation that there will be looters, and then you have to put in place the conditions that will, and keep in place the conditions that will ensure that there are people that whose job it is to protect the property. And then, of course, the other thing you have to do is you have to write the story. And that's the job of the news. And the news tells you the story that there are looters and that there are people that it's their job to protect the property. And of course, it doesn't matter who won or who lost, whose team won or whose team lost. It's the Major League Baseball that is actually the winner. So it doesn't matter if it's Dodgers or Angels, Clippers or Lakers, red or blue, good guy or bad guy. The winner is the ownership association. So in the case of good guy versus bad guy, the winner is the ownership association of the World Wrestling Association. No trademark infringement. And in the case of Clippers versus Lakers, Dodgers versus Angels, the winner is, of course, Major League Baseball and NBA. And of course, then in the case of drone strike versus food stamp, the winner is the ownership association. And you have to have either looters or people that it's their job to protect the property. Now, the protesters are the ones that aren't really heard from. The protesters are the ones that go to the game, but they don't really buy any merchandise. They just keep their scorecard, and they may or may not be unhappy with the result. And then, of course, the players, they're out on the field, they're playing too, and it's their job to be experts in the field of being a good guy or being a bad guy, or being a shortstop or an outfielder or a hitter, or throwing free throws, or making free throws rather. But you definitely have to find reasons to keep people employed. and one of the jobs that people have to be employed at is looter, and one of the jobs that people have to be employed at is, it's at their job to protect property. And in order to do that, you have to have conditions that make sure that people loot, and then you have to keep the conditions in place to make sure that people have a reason to protect the property. And that's the reason why you have good guys and bad guys, and that's the reason why you have owners associations, and that's the reason why you have World Wrestling Association. No trademark infringement.